Evening all, Marcus here, back again with another video, back again with another Oculus Go video. And as we know, the Oculus Go is a great device for media, so it's for specifically consuming video. So whether that's flat video via YouTube, Netflix, Twitch, whichever, it's brilliant. It is really immersive, being able to watch it, making the screen as big as you want. It's great, it's perfect, I love it. And also obviously 360 degree, 180 degree and 3D content. The Oculus Go, as it obviously displays a different picture for either eye, for 3D content it's brilliant. It means you can get some real sort of immersive media going on. And the 360 and 180 stuff just means you can kind of look around. You can kind of experience what you're watching your own way almost, because you know, pretty much whichever way you look, it's going to be slightly different for every single person. So it's a really interesting media to be involved in. And speaking of being involved in, a guy by the name of Eric Kruger, I'm sure not related to Freddy, got in contact with me from Amaze 3D. So Amaze 3D is an app on the Oculus Go. It's available on other VR platforms as well, and it offers 180 degree 3D content. Eric is one of the producers on Redway Manor, so that's one of the programs they've created from scratch. It's an original production, 180 degrees 3D production. It's a 5-part murder mystery, choose your own adventure, pushing the boundaries of what's possible 180 kind of narrative driven 180 content. Whereas the struggle with sort of 360 content is, you know, how do you kind of direct something where you literally have to hide when you're filming it, because obviously with 360 you can look all the way around, you can see the camera crew, the lighting, the sound man, the whatever. But with 180 obviously you're only seeing kind of what's directly in front of you, so kind of just literally kind of cut that 360 kind of sphere in half and you see what's just in front of you, so you can still look around, you can kind of still get kind of a proper sort of look, but obviously it can be a bit more narrative driven because, you know, the camera crew and whatever can be behind the camera and also kind of, you know, directing your view a lot more, because obviously with 360 content you could be looking around wherever you want, missing the action, so that's kind of hard to direct. But with 180 content you can, you know, within a sort of 180 degree sort of influence, direct which way people are looking, help push a narrative. Now Eric just wanted me to have a quick look. There's no kind of sponsorship here or anything like that sort of thing, but personally I'm really interested in 180 and 360 degree content creation. I've got myself a high-end 360 camera on order that's coming hopefully this month, so I'll be diving into that sort of world as well, and that'll be featured on this channel. So I was really interested to see what Eric had to say, and I managed to kind of quiz him a little bit back and forth about sort of how the production went and sort of challenges they've had and that sort of thing. So let's roll the trailer for Redway Manor. You can have a little look at that, and then we'll catch up at the end, and then we'll go through my thoughts on the program and sort of what I see as the challenges, see what they did well, see maybe what could be improved. So let's check out the trailer.
Very special night. Meredith, Lily, and I are thrilled you could join us at Redway Manor for the weekend.
Guys, my implant.
What's I can't see anything.
Is everybody else seeing this?
Happening?
Ah! Dad! Ah!
There's no blood. It's Cortec. Someone is hacking us. We are not safe with it on. Everyone who has Cortec is in this room. We are trapped in this house with a murderer.
The only way we're gonna get out of here alive is if we can get to the murderer before they get to us.
We're not sure what happened here, and I think it's dangerous for us to jump to conclusions.
I won't risk killing every person in this room just to test your theory.
We have to shut down Cortec. If you won't, I will.
So you've watched the trailer, and hopefully that's kind of whetted your appetite a little bit to take a look. What you can't tell from watching the trailer is that it's a 180 degree experience, so you kind of can look around that 180 degree sort of field. And Amaze definitely are kind of one of those companies out there kind of pushing the boundaries of what's possible, because this is a 5-part program. It was $2.99 from the 23rd of September, so it's free until then. So if you do get the chance, go watch it now because it's free, save you $2.99. But even at $2.99, I say it's worth it. My kind of thoughts are around kind of the medium itself. There is a challenge with 180 degree video. It'd be very disorientated if it was more like traditional TV programs. You know, lots of quick changes, moving around, lots of different camera angles, lots of sliders, lots of dollies, lots of kind of moving up and down. I think that'd be quite disorientating in a 3D 180 experience, especially when it's sort of, you feel like you're so kind of involved in the program sort of thing. So obviously they can't do that. So what they tend to do is, and in this example, is 99% of the shots are very static. So they keep them static, but obviously they try and capture as many people in as they can, and they go for a long shot. So it kind of gets a bit more of a feel of a kind of a play, a theatrical performance, maybe rather than a TV program, which has its pros and cons. I think it's interesting to see, you know, how this kind of develops and how kind of actors deal with it as well. I imagine most actors these days haven't been in a 180-degree production, so how do they kind of hold themselves? Do they have to keep on acting even when they're not saying their lines? And I guess it kind of feels a little bit like a play. People are kind of waiting for their lines a little bit. It'd be interesting to see how that develops and how actors kind of adapt as the kind of medium grows. One of the other challenges obviously is lighting and sound. Because obviously whenever you light these sort of things on a normal TV program, you can have lights or audio, you know, boom mics dangling down in front of the person's face, capturing the audio, or you can have lights, you know, either side or up or down or behind the camera or wherever. And because the camera is only seeing that very small bit of shot, you know, you don't see the light shining in. But obviously with 180 degrees and 360 as well, you can't do that. So the lighting pretty much has to come from the natural environment itself or from behind the camera. So a lot of it becomes sort of front lit, which gives it a bit of a different style to probably what you're expecting from sort of normal sort of TV programs. It very much works, and they did a very good job in this. It's interesting to kind of see and kind of, when you watch the shots, kind of think, oh, you know, where's the mic that's picking up all these people's audio? Where's the light that's providing all this, you know, keeping this kind of lit? I mean, kind of consider that when you're watching it. It's interesting to think about. And the camera rig itself, it's a custom built system. So they've custom built it, custom put it together. It clearly is very high quality. It streams in 1080p or 2.7K. And mine wouldn't let me stream it in 4K, but you could download the 4K version if you wanted to. But I watched it all in 2.7K, streamed it, and it was absolutely fine. It was super crispy, super detailed, and I was actually really impressed with this sort of how clear and how convincing the 3D is as well. I mean, things really do kind of feel like they're right there in front of you sort of thing. It's interesting to kind of look around, and from my perspective, you know, being a camera guy sort of thing, it's interesting to kind of see and learn more about. So hopefully kind of in their future productions they might do some behind the scenes stuff, so we can have a little look on their process and their setup, hopefully to inspire, you know, more 180-degree content providers, because especially with it being a new medium, it's nice to be able to share that sort of thing, to just progress the platform. And, you know, the more people that create that sort of content, you know, the more people that consume it sort of thing. So, you know, it's win-win for everyone really. And talking about the narrative and the story itself, it's an interesting concept. So it's kind of, you know, set a little bit in the future where everyone has some sort of implant plugged into their head that gives them kind of a shared thought, a kind of an interactivity between each other, that you almost have like Google Glass built into you sort of thing, so you can pop some high fives and fireworks appear and that sort of thing. And I guess in theory, you know, that's what we're doing. We're watching through someone's eyes that has this implanted in their head, which is kind of interesting. It's a 5-part sort of choose your own adventure kind of murder mystery. So the way it kind of works is quite interesting. So it's 5 parts, and apart from the last part, you know, it doesn't really matter what sort of options you choose going forward. So the first 4 episodes, it's more kind of playing through, choosing options as and when you get to them, and it plays different parts. And depending on what information you pick up and you learn as you go through, will determine sort of who you select as, you know, being the murderer at the end of part 5 sort of things. There's 3 possible endings on the 5th episode, so let me know down below which ending you got. I won't say who I got at the end, because I think it's interesting for you to kind of choose yourself if you do it. But you do have to kind of answer a certain set of questions on information you've learnt, and then that kind of determines who you choose, who you think is the killer, and then it gives you an appropriate ending for that one. Interesting enough, when I did email back to Eric about the programme after I watched it, one bit of feedback I gave him was around a transition. And it had some sort of squashing transition. It kind of went from one scene to another, and that was really jarring, really kind of done my eyes in. And it did it twice. So I gave that bit of feedback, and already he was looking to replace it anyway, so that was great. But they replaced it, so now if you watch it, it's gone. You know, they've changed it, they've updated it to something else, and it works a lot better. So the great thing here is that, you know, Eric and, you know, the kind of industry itself are looking for our feedback. What do we like, what don't we like, you know, so they can kind of adapt and change as they go forward. I'm not saying they're going to kind of change the live production that they've already filmed, but, you know, there are lessons to be learned here. And as a community, I think it's our responsibility to give that feedback. You know, be honest, be constructive. Don't be nasty about it, be nice, but, you know, be constructive, because then, you know, all of us can learn, everyone can get better. The people with the tools and experience already can, you know, get better, and they'll share with us, you know, we'll all learn together sort of thing. And at the end of the day, if they create better experiences, it's it's better for us because, you know, we want better experiences. We want sort of things to progress and get better. I know for me when watching it, the 3D, I think the cameras maybe a little bit too far apart, probably just because they're, you know, quite large cameras. That to get the most sort of natural sort of 3D, you need them kind of so they almost replicate the human eyes. So the IPD, so the interpupillary distance between sort of the two cameras, matches your eyes. So obviously if they're further apart, too close, you know, it doesn't match and feel natural. And I think in this kind of the 3D made the people feel a little bit smaller than they probably should do kind of naturally. But I think sort of after watching the kind of first episode, I kind of forgot about it. So do I recommend it? Absolutely. Thumbs up for me. I think everyone should give it a go, give it a watch. Bear in mind that it's a new medium, people are learning, and as I sort of say, you know, they're looking for our feedback, so we, you know, it's our responsibility to help them as well. I mean, imagine this sort of thing as a social experience, you know, sitting down in VR with your friend across the country, watching the murder mystery. You get to vote on it between yourselves, you get to discuss the story as it goes along. I think that's really exciting, and what Amaze is doing with this program in particular is kind of really interesting, something fascinating to keep an eye on. So check out Redway Manor. I'll leave a link to the Amaze app down below, but if you log into the Amaze app, it's literally under the premium content section, and then if you just choose Redway Manor, it's free until the 23rd. So go grab it now while it's free, but then even after that, it's only a few quid, so I'd say it's still worth it even then. Do let me know in the comments down below if you do download Redway Manor. I'd be interested to see what your thoughts are, what your thoughts on sort of 180-degree content creation. Is it the future? Can we kind of change from sort of normal flat TV to this kind of 180-degree sort of more immersive content? I think that's an interesting future there, but let me know in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, that's fine. I'm big enough and ugly enough to take it if you didn't like it, but do let me know in the comments down below why you didn't like it. I'll try and do better for next time. Become one of the Remarkables and hit that subscribe button, as well as that notification bell so you know when I next upload a video. And that's me done, I'm out, have a virtual high five.